over it and plugged it back in, and it immediately came on and spun out of my hand.
It's about a 10-centimeter laceration. We've done the best we can here on set, but he needs definitive care by a doctor or nurse at the hospital right now.
It's not worth somebody's life, man.
This is the moment we've been waiting for. The cars you'll spend the next 72 hours rebuilding are 1969 Volkswagen Bugs.
Originally designed by Volkswagen in 1935, with over 21 million manufactured, the Beetle is the worldwide longest running and most manufactured automobile of a single design platform.
I'm super stoked. I had one of these as my first car, and I've worked on zillions of them.
We got to get the wheels on this thing, we got to get it on the rack, and we got to get the motor pulled out.
Need the gun! My team really wants a dual carbureted engine. It's going to look perfect in our car.
The higher horsepower engine, it's got 2 carbs, 2 intakes. That means faster.
Both teams are planning radical transformations, and even our Car Warriors VW expert is impressed with their ambitious designs.
They're doing some pretty major customization here, chopping, cutting, and everything else. It's going to be real interesting to see if they can get everything tied together by the end of the show.
Meanwhile, the challengers are removing their roof completely to make a convertible.
We got our roof off first.
But before altering any bug, structural safeguards must be taken to...
As soon as we cut the roof, me and Junior look at each other and realize the door gap's changed.
Without the support of the roof, the body structure is now collapsing. And if they don't fabricate new supports under the car, the body will buckle and the doors will never close.
We're gonna need something structural underneath.
This is a huge job. I've got a ton of body work I need to get done, and I need to get it done now.
As the challengers race to fix the challengers' choice to make their bug a convertible has created a new problem.
Everybody's gonna see the upholstery and the interior on this car, but we didn't really bring an upholstery guy. I don't have somebody set 100% on doing upholstery. And what part of the car with no roof are you gonna see most of? The interior.
Because the challengers do not have an interior specialist, they have decided to reduce the amount of upholstery by building a speaker box to replace the back seat.
I think it fits the style of the car anyway, but I think it's really going to help us as far as not having to upholster a back seat and make that look nice.
We got 2 seats and 2 door panels, and that's all that has to be done.
With the back half of their interior solved, they now have to deal with the front half. And Doug steps up to the challenge, while he also continues his work on the exterior.
I told him I would take care of all the things before paint.
I can do all the metal welding part, no problem. Okay, the upholstery part, we'll get through.
With the amount of extra work that Doug has taken on, over the next 6 hours, he juggles the exterior and interior fabrication work, pulling double duty. But the pressure of doing 2 things at once is wearing on him to the point of disaster.
I was trimming the dash to fit the new gauges in, and I was using a cutoff wheel, and I had the trigger locked on, and it came unplugged, and I reached over and plugged it back in, and it immediately came on and spun out of my hand. Oh, it was bleeding more than I thought it should.
I just got back on the floor, and I see Doug's not here, and somebody tells me that he cut his leg. My heart just dropped.
Oh, man, this hurts.
The bleeding's pretty severe. It's about a 10-centimeter laceration. We've done the best we can here on set, but he needs definitive care by a doctor or nurse at the hospital right now.
It's not worth somebody's life, man.
When my partner Doug got hurt, it was kind of a shock. I was like, we need you right now, right now.
I feel bad for the guy, but on top of that, like, I feel bad for the rest of us too. Now we're a man short.
With the challengers a man down, the completion of their fabrication and interior is now in serious jeopardy.
It's clear to me now that it's me versus the interior. It's pretty much taken over 90% of everything that I wanted to do on this build.
Derek's my audio guy, my wiring guy, and he does awesome work. So, you know, not having a dedicated upholsterer on our team, we're just gonna have to figure out what's gonna be the less upholstery, but the best interior for us at this point in time.
You know, it's pretty crazy the fact that I have to design an interior. I don't do interiors, and we have no top. So obviously the interior has to be like the most important part of the car. It's roof soft, no windows. Everybody's gonna see inside this vehicle.
That's gonna be another one of our huge downfalls, is not having an interior. We're kind of having to wing it.
I have 100% confidence in Derek, but for us, the modification is gonna be a whole lot easier. Having the whole, what would be the back seat in the car as just the audio system. Put two 15s, put some amps, get it all fiberglassed, wrap it, and then make it match the two front seats and the door panels, and hopefully the judges will like that.
I came on this build wanting to just do my electrical, do some, you know, crazy ass audio, video. It's just this interior's killing me. I mean, everybody's inside this little car, cutting, measuring, trimming, and I don't really have much room, so it's gonna be a big challenge right now.
Being a man down, let alone being a Doug down, I really do need him back here, so it's a little bit stressing right now. We already have one wheelchair, we don't need any more.
Still a man down, run into another problem with their wheels. When the parts cage opened, the challengers failed to get the wheels and tires they planned their design around because the All-Stars got them first.
Nicole beat us to the punch. She grabbed one of the American Racing torque thrust wheels that we really wanted for our car, which kind of threw us for a little bit of a loop.
They were forced to go with a larger and wider combination. As a result, there's no clearance between the wheel and fender, and the car won't be able to turn when driven.
Problem we're having right now is with the wheels. We got the wheels and tires mounted up, and the combination we got is just not fitting very well.
Yep. Same deal.
We tried every combination that we have available to us, and it's just, the bolt pattern's not correct. Every one of the sets of wheels requires a spacer. With that spacer on, just pushes the wheel out too far. So regardless, even if we went with any of the other options in the cage, wouldn't work. Have a cigarette and then come back because there's some serious wheel issues. They can stick out by 2.5 inches.
Yeah, it's like 2 1/4, or about 2 inches right to the outside, right to the inside.
Do we have anything that will work? We're having an issue with the offset on the tires. We want to tuck them, but the offset on the tires sticking out way too far.
It's time to either wide body it or I don't know what else, dude. Mill them, I don't know.
Just kind of put a U-turn in our whole idea.
We're gonna wide body the whole fucking car.
Tell me what I gotta grind and what I gotta sand. I'll do whatever.
Okay, let's just do the work.
The only option we have, since we have a bunch of extra fenders and stuff back there, is to do a lot and make it a wide body Volkswagen. So that's the circumstances, that's what we got to work with, and that's what we're gonna do.
The challengers decide to widen their fenders, a very time-intensive process.
Our goal is to get the car into paint by last night, and with the wheel situation, it's just getting pushed back. It's looking like tomorrow morning this thing's gonna make it into paint booth.
Because we decided to go ahead and do the ultra wide body on the fenders, it's probably gonna cost us at least, I would figure at least an additional 15 to 20 hours worth of labor just in sheet metal alone.
Once Aaron makes the cut on that Sharpie line that he just drew, there's no going back. It's gonna be a wide body bug by the end of the 72 hours.
With only 32 hours remaining, the challengers have to execute several steps to create the wide body modification. First, they must cut the fenders. Next, they grind and smooth the edges. Then, they add the strips of sheet metal. Next, they weld the pieces together to widen the fender. And finally, they must grind the newly fabricated fender to create a seamless appearance. It takes the challengers nearly 4 hours to do one fender. And they have 3 more to go. After spending the last 12 hours in the hospital, Doug finally returns.
There he is.
What's up, man?
Oh, I'm like, what?
I'm already in a wheelchair, so hey.
9 stitches.
9 stitches?
Holy crap.
Now he's back on the floor and ready to help his team finally start their upholstery.
Hey, Steve, double check me. This is the side we want to glue.
You need to flip it.
Really?
Even with Doug back, the challengers continue to struggle.
Time is killing us.
With their upholstery in serious jeopardy, Wheels comes up with a plan.
How are you doing this fine evening?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Curious questions or dilemma, you might say.
Yeah.
None of us know how to use that.
Okay.
Would you be at all able to come over and show the rest of us over there how to do this so that we can get our seats done? I'm not asking you to do anything for me.
Oh, no, sure, I can show you.
As soon as she said no problem, a weight was lifted off my shoulders and I could wheel back over to my team and explain to them that we're gonna get the ball rolling as far as the only part that's slowing us down.
Toe is gas, heel is brake, because sometimes if you leave the toe on, it'll just keep right along. So you better make sure that you brake it.
I don't get what Tina's thinking right now.
When you first start, you want to back it up, and it keeps it from pulling out.
This is a competition.
That's badass, man.
When she's over there helping them, we're losing time here.
All right, well, if you guys have any trouble with that, call me and I'll help you get it out.
What makes her think she can just go over there and help someone out when we got something going on here?
What's going on over there at the Challenger side?
What do you mean?
I seen you sitting over there with all the Challengers. If they didn't put their game together, that's their problem. That's not ours.
The way I looked at it was, I want to win because they at least had a fighting chance instead of they couldn't do it at all.
What is she, want a blue shirt or something?
The challengers are still stuck in fabrication. And with most everyone asleep, Aaron V is about to make a risky decision without consulting the rest of his team.
It was late, it was in the middle of the night, and lack of sleep, and I was hoping I wasn't delirious.
He has decided to chop the windshield.
We went through all the work to cut the roof off and everything to give it a cool appearance, but the windshield was killing it. Just looks like it's 10 feet tall. As I'm putting the Sawzall to that pillar to cut that windshield down, I'm realizing this better work because we can't afford one more thing that's gonna set us back.
And 6 hours later, Aaron's surprise doesn't sit well with his teammates.
What's up, Sleeping Beauty?
I walk in the shop, I look at the car, the windshield's chopped, it's gone.
That's what we're doing now? You're just making all the team decisions for everybody? You're just like, oh, I'm just gonna cut the roof.
Are you seriously giving me shit? You've been sleeping all night, dude. I've gotten like 3 hours sleep since the whole thing.
I was up for 36 hours straight, dude, and you were in the trailer.
So me and him get into it where it's like two alpha dogs, and I don't back down from a fight, and I know he doesn't back down from a fight.
Wheels wasn't even fucking here. He didn't know about it either. Can't just fucking come bring it in fucking, oh, I'm gonna do it on my own, dude.
Who stretched all the fence?
Honestly, I'm kind of irritated because, I don't know, I think I have somewhat of a creative style with cars. I think I know what looks good and what doesn't.
Whatever,
And you're gonna come here and try and tell me something?
Whatever, fuck it, man.
Hey, you know what? We're gonna keep working like we have been all night. Obviously, we don't need you.
The All-Star team, they've already been in paint. They're already out of paint, and we're still standing Bondo. Like, we're way behind at this point. It's going in the booth, and we probably got at least another 8 hours, and that's if everything goes completely smooth, which it never does.
From now, the rest of the crew is going to be working on the rest of the stuff to assemble into the car, and I'm going to jump into the booth and start spraying right away.
But early in the paint process, Aaron notices something wrong with the team's lead painter, Junior.
And I look inside, and I can see Junior kind of struggling with something.
So I began to start spraying the base, and within a matter of 5-6 minutes, I began to see stars.
After working for 30 straight hours, Aaron Graves is on the verge of passing out.
It definitely took a toll on me. I had to walk away from it. I'm gonna go outside.
He never gives up when he says he's got to put the gun down. I knew it was serious.
One of our painters isn't doing too good. Got dizzy, started seeing stars.
When's the last time you had a break?
Well, I've only slept 3 hours since I've been here.
That is not healthy. I know you're trying to do what you can to win, but, you know, if you're passed out, you know, you fall down, you're not gonna be doing so hot.
My biggest concern was I did not want to let my team down.
How many fingers am I holding up? 2?
The paint's gotta make this thing bling, and that's the whole reason why the two Aarons are on our team. There's no way that we can pull this off with as much work that has to be done.
So we thought we could fly through this paint job and save some time and get on track. This is really gonna cut our time back a lot. It's a major, major setback. I don't know how the paint job's gonna get done.
My suggestion would be for you to lay down for a few.
While Aaron G recovers, backup painter Aaron V must now finish the entire paint job by himself.
Trying to keep upbeat about it and just hope for the best and hope things start really just working out real smooth for us.
With just 13 hours left, the paint remains a concern for the challengers. On the challengers' side, backup painter Aaron V has been painting for over 7 straight hours.
Paint's done.
And it seems he's pulled off a miracle. And for both teams, it's now crunch time. They're on to the final step, reassembly and interior installation. But it's no easy task, with just under 6 hours left on the clock. And everyone cranks up the pace to complete their car's transformation.
Coming through. Watch your ass.
Two hours left. The wiring, speakers, and lighting get completed.
Challengers, All-Stars, it all comes down to this. You have 1 hour left. Kick it up a notch.
We need to figure out how to make the thing start.
But now, with only an hour left, neither team has started their engine.
Right now, we gotta get this motor in the car. We gotta get it plugged in and running and fired.
Get this son bitch fired up.
I was freaking out, you know. I mean, we gotta get this thing fired, we gotta get it fired. Even if it just runs for a few seconds, even if it just runs on starting fluid, we're gonna get it fired just so that we can have bragging rights.
Great job.
Firing that engine for the first time, that was the biggest relief. I didn't think we were gonna pull it off, and we did.
Suck it!
Ah, yeah.
Put down your tools, everybody! Put down your tools! All-Stars, challengers, join me!
Now, it's time to reveal the cars.
The pearl white and the purple just looks awesome.
This car kicks ass. It's not the typical Volkswagen you're gonna see going down the street.
For our team, we went with the more classic, traditional build.
Challengers now might end up on the All-Star team next time.
Additional tires with a big sidewall and tread for a smoother ride.
I don't know what size motor that is. I gotta find out, but that thing just thumps.
Lots of power. It's really fun. The brakes are kind of spongy, but it's a bug.
The number one thing I hated about it is the steering.
I hate the steering. I mean, I went through first, hit second, thinking, hey man, it's a Volkswagen. This is easy. Hit third, and the thing just wants to go hard right. What the hell just happened? Steering sucks. What happened to this interior?
You didn't even bolt the seat down. What's up with that?
Let's get rid of it.
Yeah. Nice engine. Really cool.
Who did sound equipment? All of you? Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, all of you went to toe. Okay, got a lot of wooford. I think you'll curl a lot of people's hair. This got a lot of good points, got a lot of bad points.
You guys are honest, hard-working gentlemen. This sucks. I expect to see a better job.